there it is, ladies and gents. Yo, talk about taking care of your body. If you are into making sure that you are in the best health possible, then this episode is for you. Let's get this one on the road. Here we go.
Shut up and sit down.
Look, a business can give you everything you want in life. Prestige, wealth, freedom. It can also take everything away from you. This show is for those who are willing to take that risk. These are the real life stories of entrepreneurs. But before we start, I have one small favor to ask. Please leave a comment. It can be advice, critiques, tips, feedback, or share this with someone because your engagement is the most valuable and most powerful form of social currency. So thank you, and welcome to another episode of Business Bros. All right, ladies and gents, look, your health is your wealth. When you're sick, all you can think about is getting better. You can't think about your business, your finances, your friends, or even your family. You need to be in good health to deal with all those other things. Today's guest is here to talk to us about maintaining our bodies through vitamin IV therapy. I've never personally had an IV, so I'm curious to hear how this works for my body and also as a business opportunity. So let's talk about vitamin IV therapy, and welcome to the show, Mr. Sam Tejada. Yo, Sammy, welcome to the program, my brother.
Hey, I appreciate it. It's a pleasure. I'll tell you what, man, if everybody's not hyped up after that intro right there, I'm ready to go.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. All right, I'm gonna give you a little bit of background for me, and then you tell me, like, is this something that kind of fits me? So, I used to weigh 215 pounds. It's the biggest I ever got. And a couple years ago, right around COVID started, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get in the best shape of my life. I got to the point where now in the morning, I'll do like 240 push-ups, 200 sit-ups. I go for a 6-mile run every day. I'm feeling really good. I'm down to 177 pounds. Do I still need vitamin IV therapy, man?
Absolutely, you do. Absolutely. So it's one of those things. It's like, people ask that question all the time. It's, hey, I've already lost this weight. Do I still have to keep on eating healthy? Yeah, you should still, you can have your few cheat days, but you still got to eat healthy. So
That's
vitamin IV infusion, same thing. These are nutrients that your body functions off of. Your body functions off of about 35 different vitamins, minerals, and amino acids that for you to continue to perform, for you to continue to allow your body to prevent certain chronic illnesses and diseases, you have to be able to feed it these nutrients. And you want to make sure you're getting that proper absorption, which IV therapy, obviously does that.
Well, let me ask you about your experience. How'd you get into this space? How did you stumble upon it? I mean, IV therapy is not something you just, randomly as an athlete, you're like, hey, let's just pop a needle in my vein. Let's do this stuff, right? How did this come about?
Yeah, so Liquid Vita came about, believe it or not, man, it was a side gig from my days off from the fire department. I'm a retired firefighter paramedic here in Broward County, and I did that for about 12 years. And a little bit towards the end of my career, I decided, I said, you know what, I want to find a different side gig. So on my days off, so the firefighters here in South Florida, we work 24 hours on, we're off for 48 hours. So on those 2 days that you're off, before you go on shift again, you got two choices. You're going to spend a little bit of money that the city's paying you on your days off, or you're going to find some kind of side hustle and supplement your income. Well, obviously, I went the side hustle route. So I was already working for a preventative health clinic company that was nationwide, catered mostly to the most affluent. And I started coming across this whole IV nutrition, which the company that I was working part-time for at that time, they didn't offer it. So some of these very affluent patients that have homes in California, Colorado, and here in Florida started talking to me about this IV nutrition and how I should, with my paramedic background, do it, here in South Florida. So I started looking at that point in time what was considered like the competition. A lot of them are my customers now. I started seeing what they were doing, and I said, you know what, I could do what they're doing, but I could do it better. So I started the company with $500 in my back pocket, partnered up with a doctor in Coconut Creek, Florida, and started doing IV drips without a brand or anything. fast forward 9 years later, we became this multi-million-dollar company that is actively selling franchises all throughout the nation, and we're helping tens of thousands of people, if not more, get their health on point.
All right, let me ask you about the IV process, because I know personally, during the party scene time, there are people who are like, dude, I got to go to work the next day. They would do an IV drip to get themselves back into, I guess, hydrated. And, it's almost instant. And it reminds me of like a Simpsons episode, right? Homer and Barney are at the bar drinking, right? There's a rep that comes in with beer, and Barney's like, just insert it into my vein, right? Like, just give it to me. Give me that instant gratification. How does an IV actually work? Why is it so beneficial for an IV versus me taking supplements like as a drink or as a pill?
Yeah, listen, I don't want to discredit supplements that you take as a drink or as a pill. They're good. But when things have to go through the digestive route, it has to get processed. So you don't get 100% absorption. The reason why we take like oral supplementations like vitamins, minerals, amino acids, capsule form, and we have to take it every single day. A lot of times you got to take it about 2-3 times a day, is that you have to feed your body so much so you can actually get the therapeutic dose that's going to make the difference in your body. Because you're only getting a small absorption rate. Now, when you go intravenously with the IV, you're bypassing the digestive route. So it's going straight into the cellular system, right into your bloodstream, and you're getting 100% absorption. Alongside with that is when you're doing it intravenously, these are all pharmaceutical grade. They're manufactured at they call it a 503B FDA registered pharmacy. So there's testing behind the product. So if I tell you, hey, you're getting 25,000 milligrams of vitamin C, that's what you're getting. It's been tested by a third-party FDA registered testing facility to be able to prove that. A lot of these oral supplementations, they can't make any claims. You don't know what's in there. Sometimes they put all kinds of fillers in it. So you really don't know what you're getting.
So let me ask you about the IV stuff, right? So it's going straight into my bloodstream. It obviously I can probably feel as it's going through. I can probably feel better almost instantly as it goes through. It's just why they do IVs like in a hospital to rehydrate you and stuff like that. How often do I have to get this type of treatment? What's a good dose to be able to get everything I need? You mentioned when you're taking the supplements a couple times a day, but is the IV any different?
So it really depends lifestyle. Like if we go back to talking about the IV drips for these people that are partying and are hungover, the mechanism there is when you're hungover, you're dehydrated, and then you have a lack in electrolytes that help you stay hydrated. For example, sodium, right? Sodium binds to your cells, allows the H2O to actually go throughout the rest of your body. So you can't drink enough water to get rid of those the hangover effects that you're having quick enough. So when we do the IV, it's going straight into your bloodstream. You're getting those electrolytes, you're getting the different vitamins, you're getting the hydration instantly. Within 30 minutes, you feel completely different. So obviously something like that would be whenever you get so hammered that you're hungover. Now,
yeah, man, if you're getting hammered every day and you're getting an IV drip, we got a different problem to be talking about, right?
Yeah, I mean, those businesses that are like in Vegas or Miami Beach, they thrive, because people are out there drinking and partying all day and night. Now here with Liquavita, we do offer the hangover drip, but our main focus is health and wellness. We want to go after the people that live a very active lifestyle, triathletes, executive CEOs that want to be focused on their immunity so they're not getting sick. They want to be focused on mental clarity, mental focus, all of that stuff. We have nutrients for that. Those type of individuals, depending on what their deficiencies are, which we usually get a baseline based off of their blood work that we do. We do a very comprehensive blood analysis. From there, we create a regimen, which typically it's like you're doing an IV once or twice a month. Most people do it about twice a month.
All right, well, let's talk price and time frame, right? So I know there was a time where I was going and donating blood on a regular basis. You sit there, about a 15, 20 minute, then you gotta kind of wait that little time after to make sure you're all good. When you're taking these IV drips, what's the time frame, and then what's the cost? Is this something that like my insurance covers, or is this something completely different?
No, what we do is all out of pocket. So, IV vitamin therapy is one out of many services that we offer on the health and wellness side. So we try to create what we call the Vita journey. We try to put our patients, our clients, through this process to target all of their health and wellness goals. But the time frame to do the IV, depending what you get, you're looking at anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour to do the IV. People come in, we set it up in a very relaxed setting. Our whole model is as you relax the mind, you replenish the body. So we have the mood lighting, nice old TV with the Liquid Vita programming. They sit in a recliner and they're chill. So once they get out of that recliner, they feel like $1 million right then and there. Price wise on these IVs, we have IV drips that range from $30 all the way up to $250. It really depends on what's going to go in the bag.
All right. What about like overdoing it? Obviously, this is going to help me out, right? It's a good thing. And we kind of talked about that habitual partier that's going out and, replenishing every day. Can you go overboard on this? Like, is it possible to take in too many nutrients, or is this something like where your body kind of limits it?
Yeah, there is. And we do monitor that very closely, the team members. Like if somebody said, "Oh, I want to come in every day and do an IV," we're not going to let that happen. We're going to do something that's good for your health, not anything that's going to work against it. So now, depending on the individual, like we have some professional athletes that train 2-3 times a day. These individuals will come in twice a week to get these IVs, but they need it. Their body's just eating up all of those nutrients, all of the hydration. It's just eating it up very quickly.
All right. So the more athletic you are, the more you're exerting your body, the more frequent you should do this. If it's just the regular Joe kind of keeping himself healthy once or twice a month, that'll work out. Well, let's talk about the business. Okay. So you're introducing this IV therapy, and obviously it's something that takes off. I mean, your business started to take off. And I'd imagine initially when these things start off, they start off like multi-level marketing companies. And then you started talking about franchising this thing. So walk me through the business opportunity here.
So business opportunity. So what we've developed, we have a few different business models that we actively sell. We have our Liquid Vita Wellness Center, which our Liquid Vita Wellness Center, it's just not IV therapy. We do hormone optimization. We do medical weight loss, which we use different medications and peptides to enhance the weight loss process. We do the medical aesthetics, like things that you're familiar with, like the Botox, the fillers, the lip fillers. We do a lot of the beauty stuff. We have medical estheticians that are doing the facials and the peels to rejuvenate the skin. We do sexual health. We have a few different medications and also technologies that we utilize to help erectile dysfunction. Also on the female side with urinary incontinence, things of that nature. And then we have a regenerative medicine side, which we utilize different like stem cell derived products to actually help with injuries or other type of chronic illnesses that people might be experiencing, to focus on whatever the root cause is. So that wellness center is one of our business models. It's brick and mortar storefront, multiple team members there, and so that's one of our franchise opportunities. And then another part that we have is our B2B side of the business. We're on the pharmacy side, and we develop what's called a vitamin infusion ID kit. So what we've done is we made IV vitamin therapy. We made it easy for other doctors to implement it in their practice and offer it to the patients. So what we've done is we've created these packets where there's no mind process behind it. You don't. Typically, you would have to do all these drug calculations with the nutrients and mix the bag. It's almost like you're playing the role of the mad scientist, mixing the bag. So what we've done is we created it where everything's pre-measured, pre-dosed. You just extract everything out of the vial, put it in the bag, and it's ready to go. So since we launched that about 4 years ago or so, we have well over 4,000 doctors in our network that purchase our product and offer Liquid Vita drips to the patients.
So you mentioned doctors are putting this out there. When you started, you kind of started it on your own. When you're starting in this business, especially when it comes to the IV drips, is there like a certain place or certain criteria where you can get this administered, or is this like Amazon ship it to your house and you take care of it yourself?
No, this is an actual medical procedure, so it has to be done in a medical environment. There's sterility that has to go into play. There's a lot of compliance with what we do, especially when we mix the bag, administer it. Getting baseline vitals on the patient. Being able to monitor the client while they're getting the IV drip. So when I first started it, I partnered up with the doctor. I took a good portion of his office, like 2 rooms, and those rooms there at the office, we started utilizing it. We created it into the Liquid Vita Lounge, is what we call it, and we started doing the IVs. This is not something that you could just send over to somebody's house. You're going to need the medical professional to start the IV, take the IV out once you're done. So it's something that's done in a clinical setting.
So if someone wants to get involved in one of these franchise opportunities, do they have to be in the medical field, or how does that work? How does someone get started in this space?
No, they don't have to be in the medical field. It's always a plus that they are, because they understand the environment we're in a bit better. But if you do have just a financial investor who wants to get involved, the individuals on the medical side, we just hire them. Which I have quite a few franchisees that have absolutely no medical background, and they've seen a tremendous amount of success in their business, and it's just hiring the right people.
Dude, the world is kind of going through this inflationary period, not just economically speaking, but I feel like also just we as human beings, my people, man. I'm Mexican, and one of the things we talked about, especially with my parents recently, is, man, all they do is drink Coca-Cola, and they're heading towards diabetes, they're heading towards obesity, they're heading a lot of these medical issues. When you're talking to people, obviously you're targeting people who are more on the healthy side, but what benefits does it have for anybody who's like trying to change out of that kind of lifestyle? Is that something that can definitely help them, or is it something like, hey, let's get you a little bit more on a workout regimen and then maybe we can go this next step?
No, this should be part of that health and wellness journey. So, for us, we love working with people that are into their health and wellness, because they accept the stuff that we tell them. They take it in a lot easier. But the industry we're in, one of the common things that you'll hear out there, people refer to it as lifestyle medicine, right?
Mm.
So what we're doing here is we are creating a lifestyle. We are creating a lifestyle that people need to change what they typically do. So we work on the nutrition side. We work on the exercise side. We have our contacts to refer you if you need a personal trainer. We're doing a comprehensive blood analysis, not like how your doctor typically does, your general practitioner, 2 or 3 pages. We do a 20-page blood panel. We're looking at everything at micronutrients deficiencies. We're looking at hormone imbalances. We're looking at autoimmune issues that you can have, toxins you get exposed to through environment and foods. We're looking at food sensitivities that your body may be having. And the reason why we do that is to get a good bird's eye view of what's happening with the patient's health. And then from there, what we do is we take a proactive, preventative approach to medicine versus what we're so used to in the United States, which is, your conventional medicine is more of reactive medicine. We wait until you're sick to then treat you. So people that, how you said, have like the diabetes issues and stuff, man, if you can target those issues early on, you prevent that person from getting on any medications, just switching up a lot of stuff within their day-to-day lifestyle.
It'll make a huge difference in a lot of people's lives. I mean, I don't think we realize the compound effect of having some of these negative habits in our life. Eventually you end up losing toes, digits, legs, all kinds of health issues if you don't just step out and take care of it right up front. Let's talk a little bit about the entrepreneurial journey. Every entrepreneur, doesn't matter what business industry they're in, they start, they think they have an idea of what it's going to be like, and then they hit roadblock, brick walls, and they got to kind of navigate through those things. What was your entrepreneurial journey like when you're building this company? Like, what kind of struggles did you hit early on, and how'd you overcome them?
Yeah, I mean, the struggles never stop. Actually, those brick walls and those roadblocks, they actually get bigger the bigger you get. And that's where you just, having a strong team and the right people that you surround yourself with, you figure that out. That's what we call strategy. You strategize on certain ways to get past those roadblocks. Early on, I mean, there are a bunch of different roadblocks. When you do a one location facility, basically your mom and pops, if you will, that's easy. It's when you try to take something that works as that individual unit and you try to duplicate it, where then at that point, it's a scalable business that you can just keep on opening up many of those, until you have your systems and processes in place. I mean, it's going to be a struggle. So, creating the SOPs, so these are projects that just never stop because the business keeps on growing. You're consistently adding to these things and changing them. I mean, other roadblocks I hit early on is bad partnerships. If I could go back from the day that I started, I would be a heck of a lot more picky of franchisees that I bring on board, partners that I bring into the business. But when you just get into business and you're learning. So unfortunately, you have to go through some of these roadblocks, these hiccups, to be the business person that you are today.
But those franchises, when you start working with a franchise model, it means you've already done a lot of the work, right? You've already built a lot of these systems. Right. You've gone through and written out all these SOPs. You had it ready to go so that somebody coming into this operation doesn't have to do all of those things. Those are already laid out for them. So if somebody wants to get started with you guys with a franchise opportunity, what's it cost to get into a franchise? What are we looking at? And what can they expect to start with?
Yeah, so I always try to put myself in the shoes of a potential franchisee who might be interested in franchising. And I always tell myself, it's like, man, that initial franchise fee, I should charge like 10 times the price, because if I could get into this business with everything already done for me, it's worth it. So our initial franchise fee is $75,000. That's how you get into the biz. And then obviously there's expenses to build out the location, have some working capital to pay team members and whatnot. But our initial franchise fee is $75,000 for you to basically get access to all of our assets, for you to get access to all of our information that we've gathered in the last 9 years, for you to go ahead and just take it and run with it and start making money.
Love that. Love that. Would you think this is something that, I mean, you've partnered with doctors, but do you think this is something that like gym owners can come in and kind of utilize as well, whether they take a section of their gym, kind of set it up on that kind of lounge type thing, have some medical staff come in and handle that type of thing? You think that's something that might be a fit? Do you have anybody like that?
We played around with that early on and attempted that. We actually tried to do it out in California in the it was called Malibu Health Club in Malibu, Cali, and it's just not. It's actually, for me, it's not a successful environment. Mixing gym with clinical, it's just, even though you think it would work, it doesn't, because people have like that mentality of sterility. Not a gym. When they hear about a gym, they don't think about sterility. They think about people sweating and dirty. So people were a little bit turned off by it. But setting up close to a gym, separately from the gym, but you still get that visibility from the gym people, that works. People will respect that. Now the people that go to the gym, those are fantastic, customers. It's just creating the setting, because at the end of the day, whatever you set up, even if it's inside of a gym, you still got to set it up as a clinic. So you still need a medical doctor. You need your malpractice. You got to get the state to come in and inspect it. So sometimes it's just not worth it to go that route.
Yeah, I was curious about that. I didn't know for sure. I was like, this is the type of people you're targeting, but not necessarily the type of environment that you're targeting. So that totally makes sense. All right, man. Well, You started with $500 in your pocket. You put this thing together. Now you're selling franchises. Where's your business at today? Where do you see it going in the next couple of years?
So our goal is to continue to sell franchises throughout the nation, sell territories to area developers that are interested in growing some of these territories and being part of the franchise group, and even help us sell franchises within those territories. So my goal is to be able to sell anywhere between 30 to 40 new franchises per year. We're currently on track to do that, and just keep on hitting it hard. I mean, we got some innovative services, modalities, products that are coming about that'll be new into the organization that we'll be doing a rollout with. So my goal is to keep on hitting it hard until I decide to execute that exit strategy one day.
You are a retired firefighter who moved into this space, but not all firefighters are meant to move in here. Who's this ideal franchise for? Who's the ideal client that you're looking for?
Ideal franchisee, we have two ideal franchisees. Franchisee who is a business person, who understands the world of business, who, these are people who could do something as basic as reading a profit and loss statement, right? The people that are already involved in other franchise systems that are out there, where they understand what a franchise opportunity truly is. And then we're also looking for franchisees that are medical practitioners, like a physician assistant or nurse practitioner, that will actually be spearheading that individual location, being the lead of that location and working with the patients. So either or works great as a franchisee for Liquivita, but that's what we're looking for.
Dude, what you've built is already an amazing thing, and kind of a personal question. I mean, I'm sure you loved firefighting and you really love what you're doing because you built it. Aside from obviously the financial success, what are some stories, or what's some joy that you pull out of what you've built and what you do today?
Yeah, so when you talk about success, everybody has a different definition of success. My definition of my personal success has nothing to do with money. My definition of success is being able to leave a great legacy behind for when at the point in time that I have kids. They'll know once I'm gone, everybody will know, hey, your father was a great businessman. Cared about the people, grew into these different markets, etc. Now, when we talk about the business success of what we're doing with the actual customers, my main focus is to be able to help as many people as possible. That there is what I truly find rewarding. And when you look at all of the jobs that I've had since I was a teenager, I started off as a lifeguard swim instructor because I wanted to be there during a time of emergency. And then I also wanted to be there to help prevent those emergencies from happening, which here in Florida, the leading cause of death on kids is drowning. So I was a lifeguard, and then I transitioned right out of high school. I went into EMT, paramedic, fire academy school, and by age 20, got hired at the fire department. And I told myself that this is going to be the most rewarding job in the world. I'm going to be saving people when they mostly need someone like myself. It's going to be super rewarding, which it was. I got a lot of the saves out of car accidents, fires and stuff. But ultimately, it wasn't as rewarding as what I thought it would be, And the reason why I say that is there were so many times that we would get these 911 calls and we would have to transport these patients to the hospital. And you would hear what the doctor would tell these patients of what they had to do to switch something in their lifestyle so they don't end up in the emergency room again. We would tell these patients the exact same thing. And guess what? 2 days later, we're coming back to that 911 call and taking that person back to the hospital because they don't make the change. Now with Liquivita or wellness centers, listen, we don't take insurance. People are paying straight out of pocket. 99% of the people that come into Liquivita, they do exactly what we tell them. So if we tell them, hey, this is what you need to do to lose weight, they do it. And you know what happens? They come back 30 days later, and that's the most rewarding part of it for me. It's literally such a higher percentage of individuals that are actually doing what we tell them to do to help them, where this job has become even more rewarding than being a firefighter.
Dude, saving lives one drop at a time essentially is what you're doing, dude. That's amazing, dude. Anything that changes a life for the positive always brings some joy into your life. I think it's a great thing what you're doing. Before we head out, any last final thoughts? And of course, how can people get a hold of you if they want to work with you?
Health is wealth. I'll leave that as the last final thought. There is, without your health, don't even think about having any kind of wealth, because without your health, you have nothing. You got to focus on having a good quality of life, taking care of yourself. That's what Liqui Vita is here for. If you try to get a hold of me, pretty straightforward. You can reach me at my email, sam@liquivita.com. And then also you can find me on my LinkedIn page, which is my full name, Samael Tejada. That's Samael, last name Tejada. And then also my Instagram page is Sammy, SAMMY_Tejada, Tejada, and then another underscore to follow that.
Perfect. All right, ladies and gents, you heard it. You got to take care of yourself and get it. Not everybody has to do the IV, but if you're ready to take your health to that next level, give your body those nutrients it needs, especially if you're already working out intensely and you're demanding a lot of your body. You should probably take the time to give something back. So make sure you guys check out, at least go to the website, liquivita.com. You can follow Sammy on his Instagram at Sammy_Tejada with a little underscore at the end there. Or shoot him an email, sam@liquivita.com. Sammy, thank you a lot for coming on the show today. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll catch you guys on the next drip. Peace. And we're out.
It's over. Go home.
Is your business in need of marketing? Try starting a podcast. But not just any podcast. Podcast like a pro. We can show you how to take your business from being invisible to becoming a brand people trust. Go to www.businessbros.biz to get started today.